We got a very interesting video today by Halina called OnlyFans Will Ruin Your Life. And I'm very interested to hear what she got to say regarding OnlyFans, right?
Hi everyone, today we are going to cover in detail why you should never ever in your entire fucking life sell yourself on the internet, okay?
Agreed.
Yes, I am talking about OnlyFans. However, I am not only talking about OnlyFans. There are many different platforms out there where you can sell content, as the girls are calling it now, or prostitute yourself online, sell explicit pictures and videos of yourself, okay? Twitter and Reddit are absolutely huge when it comes to selling explicit content, okay? And if you don't believe me, if you're over the age of 18, which you should be if you watch my videos, but go look it up really quick and see how many content sellers there are on these sites, okay? It is absolutely horrific. And just before the accusations start, I'm not conservative. I'm not a Puritan. I think that people should be young and free and they should hook up with whoever they want to with protection. You guys know how I feel about STDs. Okay, please keep yourself safe out there.
That's a ball.
But that doesn't mean that I'm going to be stupid. That absolutely doesn't mean that I would ever advocate for selling pictures or videos of yourself online, because that is stupid. That is stupid, idiotic behavior. And I'm not going to pretend for a second that it isn't. And I'm not going to...
Okay, hold on. She's spitting. Because when men say this, they get mad.
You can just make it go away once you do it either, because I know that's the next counterpoint that's going to get brought up. Lucky for everybody here, I have a list, okay? And the bookmark came up on my face just now, as you just saw. I bookmarked this page because I'm taking it that seriously, okay? So, number one, my point, the internet is forever. I would know this better than, I'm not going to say anyone, but I'm very familiar with this fact. Okay, it's fact, it's true. You can dispute it all you want, but it is true. I'm a content creator. I don't call myself an influencer because I don't like that word, but I make videos on TikTok and on YouTube, and, I'm starting to post them on Instagram too. And I've already seen them be reposted on other accounts whereas, if I was to delete all of my accounts, it would still be there. And I'm saying, okay, I'm done. I'm done being on the internet. Actually, you're not done being on the internet, right? Because I already posted all of my stuff, and there's who knows how many copies of everything out there, and anybody in the world can make a copy and save it on their phone forever. And even if I delete it and go live off the grid 40 years from now, somebody could walk up to me with a copy of that video when I was 20 or 21 on their phone and say, "Is this you?" And I'd have to say, "Yeah." And I just have to accept that they saved it and they have it. The internet is forever. Don't ever think that you're insignificant enough where somebody isn't watching you, somebody isn't stalking you, somebody isn't saving your content. Because I see this a lot when, young girls get groomed, let's call it what it is, groomed into joining OnlyFans or a similar platform. And they say, well, it'll only be for a while. I'm just going to use it to pay off my loans, to pay off my debt, to pay off my car payment, to, do this, that, or the other thing. I just want a cushion. I just want some money to move. I want some money to travel. Don't we all? We all want money, but there's many other ways you can get
That's the thing. There's so many different ways to make money in this world. And I know it's a tough time now. I get it. Trust, I get it. But it's you gonna stoop to that level to get the bread? Nah, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Really exercise every decision. And even when you think there's no decision that you can go down, please, for the life of me, don't do this. You know what I'm saying? And then I want to say this as well, because I'm going to continue to say this. The men that subscribe to these OnlyFans, whatever, exclusive content, y'all the problem. Y'all really the problem, because there's no supply. If there's no supply, which is the men, there's going to be no demand. So y'all keep feeding into this system. Yes, I understand it's hard to find a date, get a shorty. Some of us, feel there's no hope. We got to do what we got to do. But we're creating a problem that you can't really take back. You feel what I'm saying? And then y'all be the same ones oh man, these workers should not be able to take all the hard-earned money that we get. But y'all the same ones paying for them and creating a platform for them, because their subscribers is what's funding their life. Some of these people make millions of dollars a month because you horny. Crazy to me.
Get money than selling pictures of your ass. Okay, so let's not go there. So, the internet is forever. Why I keep bringing this up is because like girls will. I know there are male OF creators, okay,
Facts.
but in the majority of OF creators, especially the high earners, are women, okay? So I'm just using women as the general group here because let's be honest, like 99% of creators on OnlyFans are women.
Facts.
Okay? A lot of girls have this mentality where they think, you know, okay, I'm just going to do this for a short time to pay something off. Then I'm going to be done. I'm going to delete the account and nobody will ever know. So that's where you'd be wrong. Let's say you only had 20 subscribers, 20 paying subscribers that are paying for your content and waiting for you to post, okay, and jerking off to whatever you post, okay, because let's be honest, you guys know I don't beat around the bush. I wasn't born with that skill. So let's say you only have 20 and you're thinking like, okay, I'm good. Like I have like, you know, 500 or 600 a month if you even make that, which you probably don't because the subscriptions are so fucking cheap that like you have to have literally thousands and millions of people just like staring at you all the time.
And that's another thing. Like a lot of the people that do OnlyFans, especially the new ones that I be seeing, and then I be hearing like I be having certain conversations with people in real life, and they be like, I'm a content creator, and then I look at their page and I'm like, okay, I know what type of content this about to be, right? And they don't have that many followers. Like we gotta understand that. People think when you make an OnlyFans that you just get memberships off rip. Nah, again, you gotta promote it. You gotta find something that's gonna drive traffic to that page. And that means you gotta expose yourself to people you probably don't even want them to know that you're doing that. So you gotta literally sacrifice your reputation, your pride, your ego to be able to promote this OnlyFans. That's probably gonna get a real slim chance of somebody subscribing, because at the end of the day, if we want to be real, you competing with the free hub too. Word. And then it gets deep because sometimes they'll leak your stuff too. If you're on the OF, they'll leak it. Word. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, bro, again, y'all gotta really like the same way that they operate in this YouTube space, and you know what I'm saying, it's the same way they operate with the OF and all that. It's digital content. It can get shared anywhere. There's no protection. So we really gotta be mindful of that as well. Continue. She's spitting.
On platforms like that, okay? And yes, if you have a manager, they get a cut. What does that sound like? That sounds like walking the street and your pimp gets a cut to me.
Right.
Okay. Now that's not rocket science. I'm just drawing a obvious similarity. So let's say this is you. You only have 20 subscribers.
I just want to say them OF managers make bank. I knew a kid who was like 16, 17 that went to OF management. Don't agree with this. Bro, like in a year he got a BMW, bro. I was like, what the fuck? He was doing the same. We was all making dance content and shit. And bro went to OF management, started making bread. I thought about it in my bed. I'm like, yo, I should just become an OnlyFans manager, but I couldn't do it. I can't stand too close to that, bro. Some people don't care how they make their money. You know what I'm saying? Cool to you, but I can't stand too close to it. That's just me. You know what I'm saying?
And you're like, nobody's ever gonna know. No. Because when you delete your account, those 20 people that paid for your content, first of all, they're probably going to be pissed that you up and deleted your page. Oh, yeah. And now they're like, okay, I paid for all that for months and now she's gone after just 6 months and I don't have access to her anymore. They're going to find you elsewhere on the internet because they are, especially, God forbid, your face was in any of the videos, which most of them, guys won't even pay for faceless content because they won't, because porn is so prevalent and so advanced now that like, why the fuck would they pay for a faceless? Like this is not 1965 where you're, hunting around town with your friends trying to find the last Playboy at the adult store that's hilarious. 5 miles on the outskirts of town. Okay, this isn't, it's very accessible. It's everywhere. Okay, and I wish it wasn't, but it is. Yeah. So, they are going to find you. Okay, they're going to find your Instagram account, your TikTok account, your Twitter account, anything that you have. And you're like, that's impossible. I use an alias, Helena. Got you there. Boom. No. Okay, it's not that simple. There's so many tools, especially with the use of AI, where like they can just, especially if your face in the videos, they can put your face in and they'll immediately find you.
Facts.
They'll immediately find out who you are on the internet. So they have, and you're like, well, how does that impact me? What are they going to do? I have seen stories online where girls stop their, tiny OnlyFans accounts because they didn't succeed or they didn't whatever. They didn't get into the top 1% of earners. That's another point further down on the list, is that more than likely you're probably not going to make it in the top 1%. And you're going to end up basically ruining your life for nothing.
Like I said.
Okay. But anyway, they quit because they're like, well, I got the money I wanted. I don't want to do this anymore. It doesn't suit my lifestyle. They quit for any myriad of reasons. And suddenly they have these people, their very, very small amount of insignificant subscribers that they weren't even worried about. They have these people contacting their family, contacting their friends, sending crazy ass like pictures and videos that they might have only uploaded on that site to people they know in real life. Because
and you got to think like, yo, these people that are subscribing to my OnlyFans, right? What kind of people are they? That's really what you got to think about too. Cause I'm like, yo, if I'm selling a product and it's like low-key degenerate, what kind of people am I selling to? You feel what I'm saying? Most of the times, 99% of the times, if you're doing OF, the subscribers are gonna be damn near degenerate, or it's gonna be unsatisfied people in their relationships. That don't make it right. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be the highest of the highest, or like people that are civil to keep it short. You know what I mean?
We'll start to feel, and I'm not saying all of them, okay, but this has happened. Like I've heard like OnlyFans creators talk about this. I'm literally just repeating what I've heard. These men feel offended and slighted that they do not have access to this woman in that way anymore. It's
a parasocial relationship too. Like these OF managers, they be managing because I think you could chat in OF as well too with the models. They be it's not, you're not talking to the person you subscribe to. 9 times out of 10 it's the manager. And you think, and that's another thing that's like, hey yo, pause. You know what I'm saying? You're not talking to the actual model. You know what I'm saying? You're talking to a dude that's managing her content. You know what I'm saying? Most of these girls, they get in, they make their video, and they step far away from it. Because even they know deep down inside, this ain't it. But it's going to get that coin just for a little while. If you ever got to think about, oh man, I got to do this career for a little while, you know, and then get out as quickly as possible, 9 times out of 10 don't do it. 10 times out of 10 don't do it, bro. That's the equivalent of selling work, selling that. You know what I mean? It ain't worth it.
Can't see the videos, the pictures and videos were all taken away. And for them, it's very personal because, you know, with a lot of the content too is like, obviously men can pay for, I'm going to say an explicit version of like a cameo where, you know, like they'll pay the woman and the woman will make a video specifically for them. And this leads a lot of men to feel like they have it's very parasocial, but unfortunately it's very common. They feel like they have a real relationship with this woman, right? And she really cares about them and she's like really into them and she really thinks they're attractive. And
she don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell you that right now. She only cares because you subscribe. That's it. You are the extra $5 that month. You know what I'm saying? She gonna have your email on the email list. Why you unsubscribe? You sure? I give you 5 pieces of content for free if you come back like this. Come on, y'all. We got to do better. We got to do better, man.
Whatever, which of course is totally delusional, but this has been happening since the dawn of time, okay? It's like believing that the stripper likes you. You know, it's like ridiculous. But this happens all the time, happens over and over again. The danger with the internet is that they become so obsessed with you and they get so used to having such easy access to you. Every time they open their phone, they can have access to you. So when you take that away and you're like, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore, you delete all your accounts, they're pissed and they will contact whoever they have to contact that you know in real life to get you to do it again. I've seen countless stories where women were like, I wasn't even making that much money and I'm still not making that much money, but they just wouldn't stop harassing me. They emailed, I got a real life job, I got a corporate job, I got an office job, I was a server, whatever. They emailed.
And then some of these dudes, bro, they're into tech, they understand computers in and out, they understand networking, they understand cybersecurity. They will do the most devious shit just because you wanted to make a change for your life. So you gotta really think about some of these things, ladies. We really gotta think about this, y'all. There's so many ways to make money. This ain't it. It's terrible. Even the ones that make the most money, oftentimes they're not. They say they regret it. They wish they never did it.
My bosses, they emailed my coworkers.
And then let me say this too. For the folks that be subscribing to OnlyFans models that turn 18 and then they open up an OnlyFans account the next day and y'all quick to subscribe to that, that's weird as fuck. That's weird. That's low-key PDF file. You waited till she was 18, gang? You was that? Nah, y'all got it with that one.
They wouldn't leave me alone until I went back to creating content. So that's one side of it, is that if you do not protect yourself properly and you don't follow simple internet safety rules, which most people don't, but to be frank, like in situations like these, it's hard to keep from being recognized. It's much harder than you think, especially if you have public profiles literally anywhere else on the internet, okay? And these people, these guys, a lot of them, it's like they don't have like social lives, they don't have jobs, they don't have whatever. So like they have all the time in the world to find your IP address. Like they really do.
Facts.
They really do. Like I'm not lying. I've seen many stories like this online from women. Okay, so you get roped into basically doing it for the rest of your life or until they leave you alone. So that's one side of it, where you do it just for some quick cash, for a quick fix, and then you get roped into doing it forever or for years and years and years until, I don't know, you don't look young anymore.
Yeah, here's the thing with like making money that fast in that industry, right? Once you make money that fast, you start to kind of lose like, damn, I gotta work for 24 an hour, and then you was making 5 bands in a week. You like, damn, son. Even if it wasn't that much, let's say you made 1,000 in a week. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And then you gotta go back to a job. You know what I'm saying? And that's where like the imbalance of like productivity and like how hard somebody works in life, and I think it should pay out equally. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But back to the point. If somebody's making money fast, which is why a lot of people are like reluctant to change their ways, they're like, yo, I could just make a quick 300 today. If I just sell this, boom, pop, boom, boom. Or if I open my, Unani on the internet, make a quick 300 for the one day. If you make 300 every day, that's 9 bands in a month, 30 days. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you really lose the value of the money. You know what I'm saying? Because it creates like this reality, like, oh man, going back to only making 24 an hour, and I was making 300 every day. I'm gonna stay on this OF path, and that's why people stay a lot longer than they would, because at least with the OF, right? It's just the logic, and with like doing the scripper stuff, right? You could make a bunch of money in 1 month, and then you could take a break, live your life, go lavish, go crazy. And he could go back and grind it out. That's the mindset some of them operate with. Okay?
Because that's what most of them are into, for being real. Because, you just don't want them to harass your friends and your family and people in your real life, and you're, paranoid, and you just want to live a normal life. And of course you feel incredibly guilty that that's happening to people so you're like, okay, fine, fine, I'll go back to doing it, and I'll just upload a couple times a month, and meanwhile that keeps you out of any other career field. Yep. Because as you're uploading more and more and more to fucking like satiate these people, okay, I almost said demons, but I didn't, guys. Okay, you be really proud of me for that. These individuals, as you're doing that, you're just digging yourself in a deeper pit. You're ruining your further chances of finding any fucking job anywhere, okay? Because the archive of your stuff online is growing. And as I stated earlier, there are people on Reddit and various other platforms that will, no matter how small of an account you are, they will keep everything from OnlyFans or wherever the fuck you're uploading this explicit content. Facts. They'll keep it all in a little bank just for them, and sometimes they'll upload it publicly, but they have it.
Or they would resell it. Right? I'm just trying to think in the mind of somebody who would have this kind of content. You know what I'm saying? They could resell that stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's someone that's like popular or super popular. They're like, I could make a bag off that. I got everything in storage. She deleted all her videos. Oh yeah, it's lit. People are like that.
They have it, and who knows what they're going to do with it. Maybe they'll do what I just talked about, okay, where they try to like blackmail you with it. Maybe they'll do something else. Maybe they want it just for them. It doesn't matter, because you just have to live with the knowledge and the anxiety that they have it.
That's fine.
Okay, and for anybody who's freaking the fuck out right now thinking about like a couple nudes that like they might have sent a guy, or like you might have sent an ex-boyfriend, or like, please don't. That is not the same thing at all. And frankly, most places have laws against using stuff like that. It's called revenge porn. Like, please, please, please don't be freaking out right now if this is you. I know so many girls that like have this story where they're like, I was just like so dumb, and we dated for like 2 years, and I thought we'd be together, you know, for a long time, and so like he has pictures and like videos of me. That is different, okay? Please don't feel super anxious and like the world is ending if somebody has a few pictures of you. That's very common, and it's common for men too. Like I've known guys who like their ex-girlfriends have like pictures of them, whatever. Not the same. It's not the same, and there is a stark difference. With anybody who has a brain can tell the difference between a picture or a video meant for a partner and a picture or video meant for an audience. Okay, so don't worry about that, please. Like, my intention is not to incite anxiety in people that have unfortunately experienced this at the hands of like an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay, so just getting that out of the way. Okay, so the next point that I mentioned earlier, you will not be in the top 1%. This is something that people like, okay, so-called like managers on OnlyFans or whatever, they love to tell young girls this, really young girls. I just mentioned this in one of my TikTok videos. I have been DM'd or emailed over 10 times by managers on OnlyFans, okay, who are like...
I think that shit's fucked up, man. Imagine you getting hit up by OnlyFans managers telling you, oh yeah, you know, you make a killing online, selling you a dream, right? And then the act of it itself is low-key predatory, gang. I don't like that.
Oh, like, you're just, you know, do you have a manager yet? Like, oh, they always use this line too, where they say, your videos are actually pretty good. It's like, I know they're good. I don't need you, a fucking like e-pimp, to tell me that they're good. I know they're good, okay? And my videos are good because I put effort into them, because I want to help people, and because I want to make people laugh, not because I want to come online and act like I'm 12 years old and act dumb and naive, because that's what these people like, and shake my ass and wear fishnets from 2018, okay? And that stupid black skirt with 2 white lines on it that every e-girl wore, okay? That's not why my videos are good. Man. So get the fuck out of my DMs. But truly, it's like, it's not about me. It's about them. It's about the business, okay? They don't know that I have over 10 videos on my page talking about OnlyFans and the dangers of it, because they don't look at that stuff. They just, you know, scroll and they see a pretty girl and they're like, ooh, her, and they message me, okay? So
they're literally just doing outreach. That's it. They don't give a damn. They just doing outreach. They trying to expand the bag. They get their cut. And as much people as they could recruit, that's all that matters. Outreach. Crazy work.
Here's something that I need you guys to know if you've ever been pitched this fucking joke, okay, from somebody who's a manager. If you're just listening to this and you're not watching, I'm saying manager in air quotes because these people are just predators is all they are. They're predators.
All right, so I'm not bugging. All right, cool.
And they're groomers and they're lowlives. Okay, so let me tell you something, and this is no insult to you. This is no insult to you at all. It doesn't mean anything about your looks. It doesn't mean anything about your work ethic. It doesn't mean anything about your body. It's just a fact. You're not going to be in the top 1%. I don't give a fuck what they tell you.
Facts! Say it again!
I don't care what they tell you. I don't care, you know, oh, well, if you do this niche because, you have a ski slope nose, or you have braces, or you're short, or you have huge tits, like, we can totally put you in this category. And I already have a bunch of customers that would love to see content for someone like you. And I've actually already reviewed your picture with like my boss and like the CEO. Lies. And like, first of all, they're all liars. Obviously, that's what their entire business runs on. Okay. Secondly, you won't be in the top 1% because the top 1% is basically already taken. I mean, OnlyFans is basically already like a fading business. Will it unfortunately continue to be used for years and decades to come? Yes, but like the golden age is over. The golden age is over, and the top 1% is going to be those weirdos that live in the bop house. Okay,
they got money, they got a good team. A lot of these 1% OF models, it's no different from content, like regular content. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be very like, you gotta do something different, like so different, unseen before. You gotta come with like, gotta look, I don't know, but you gotta do something different. You gotta do a backflip, land on the thing-a-lang, do something crazy, and then make it look fire at the same time. But it's like, I really need y'all to understand that a lot of these people is, even when they make it up there, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Yeah, they could get the worldly things like the Birkin bag and this, that, and the third, but it's like, the type of demons they gotta go to sleep with, gang, I don't want that.
Bob House, and they make all like Sophie Rain, Piper Raquel, okay, other unfortunate misled souls. Like, they are the ones that are going to be in the top 1%, because
they be young.
OnlyFans is not about how beautiful or gorgeous you are. It's about how popular you are, like, on social media, and it's about how accessible you seem. Okay, and this is why if somebody who is a supermodel made an OnlyFans 5 minutes from now, it probably wouldn't get a lot of traction. Do you know why? Because most men who buy these sorts of services online, they want to feel like if this is a girl, okay, let me rephrase. They want to feel like the girl that they're paying to see, the girl that's on the screen in front of them, getting undressed and doing very explicit things and talking to them and whatever, they want to feel like it's realistic. They want to feel in some capacity that they could go up to her on the street and talk to her and hold a conversation, and they want to be able to have the fantasy that they could actually get into like sexual acts with this girl. Okay, so if it's somebody that, for lack of a better term, looks like a supermodel, they're not really gonna buy.
They don't see that every day, so they like, I'm good. They probably want some shorty that look like somebody next door or that live in their apartment complex. Like, damn, she bad, but I ain't got the guts to talk to her. Oh, we got this OnlyFans model that look just like her. Weird shit. Weird shit. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's weird. Oh nah, they got it.
That content as much, because to them it's going to feel very fake, and they're probably going to feel worse about themselves than they already do. Okay, the mental health of anybody who pays for content like this is very, very, very dismal. Okay, we already know that.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately,
do you understand what I'm saying? My intention is not to talking about women who are the top 1% on OnlyFans. My intention is not to call them ugly. My intention is not to bring them down, because clearly they've had enough problems in their life that led them to this point. But my point is, don't think that it's a beauty contest. Don't think that it's a contest of who's the most fit, who has the most assets. Okay, It isn't. It isn't about that. It's about accessibility. It's about them feeling like they know you, and it's about you looking like a child. And if you're like most women, where you look like an adult woman with developed features, never ever in a million years would you succeed in a cesspool like that, okay? And not that it was ever even thought about that concept of a thought for me, because I would never shame my family like that, and that is pathetic for a billion different reasons, and I'm gonna list later in the video actually. But let's say that somebody who looked a hell of a lot like me, okay, did it. It would never work. It would never work. And I would end up just like the million other women who tried it and failed because they couldn't make any money. They didn't get the traction they were promised because they look like adults. I look like an adult. I have an angular face. I'm 6 feet tall. I model. I walked twice in New York Fashion Week, and it was awesome. Would they think that's awesome? No, because I don't have the chubby cheeks and the big eyes and the pouty lips and the just disgusting caricature that they have in their mind that they think of as the definition of a woman, okay? Which really looks more like a child if we're going...
It's distorted as fuck. It's crazy.
By OnlyFans beauty standards. So that's another reason that, like, no matter how gorgeous you are, like, you're probably not going to make it on these sites, okay? Because it focuses on people who look like kids, people who are mid, and people who are dumb. And if you don't have those three things, which most women don't, in my opinion, I like to think positively of people, then you're not going to succeed on somewhere like OnlyFans. Okay, now let's get to my next point. So I'm not going to say all of them, because of course there are many unique situations, and lots of people online, it's like, I don't know their life story. I'm going to talk about people that not like close friends of mine, but like acquaintances, like people, like friends of friends, like people that I've known. Okay, I have known girls and I have known women who come from good high schools, good areas, states where they could have gone to community college for a low cost, okay, like my home state, Michigan. They had good parents. They had together parents that weren't divorced. Good house, paid off house. Parents had good jobs. They went to college. What did they do after college? They started taking pictures of themselves in the shower, and now they're on OnlyFans, and that's all they do. And you know, the saddest part is their following is smaller than mine. So now what?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you do that? This is what really frustrates me, okay? Because when I make these type of videos, I'm really not talking about anybody who is super underprivileged, okay? You've had a very hard life. You have circumstances that maybe have made it impossible for you to...
It be people that be having it all going for them, and they say, you know what? I should do OnlyFans. What the what? Hey, man, to each his own, but that's crazy work. And then she has less of a follower than you. Hey, how many followers you got on here? 3 bands. She got 3,000 followers. Hey, okay.
To do any sort of other work at this moment in time, okay? I don't speak for anybody else's story, as I always say, okay? And if you've never heard me say that before, congratulations, because I say that all the time. I'm not trying to speak for anybody else's life experience, but I can speak for this group of girls that I'm talking about that seems to dominate the top 1% on OnlyFans, okay? Facts. And it's literally like middle class or upper middle class or higher class even white women. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you guys really did not have to do this. You're just bums. Like, you're just bums and you're losers, and you didn't want to put any effort into a career or moving or making a job for yourself, making money, starting your own business like the rest of us, because you're a bum. And you just thought, Facts. I know, I'll open up the camera and take a picture of my boobs. Like, you're a...
We need to normalize calling everybody losers who are losers. Word to both. We got to bring back shame. SHAME. You feel what I'm saying? Because this is wicked work. This is wicked work. Because she ain't lying either. I'm like, yo, why is she doing OnlyFans? Like, what the fuck? Like, what? And then they be talking about, like, some of these videos, some of these documentaries or whatever. I'll be seeing clips on TikTok. I'll be looking at the parents. I'm like, yo, they look real affluent. Like, they got it together. And then the shame that they would, like, express that they feel, and then they would try to convince their daughters not to continue. It's like, it's a lost cause, unfortunately. And it's like, how do you get to that point? Maybe it's because, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think, like, maybe it's because they grew up with nice things, and if they tried to, like, do a career, travel down a career path, they didn't want to work for it and, like, you know, find their own path. But it's like, if you went to a good school like Harvard or whatever, your odds of success are pretty high from what I understand. You know what I'm saying? And you come from a family with relationships, you can make that own. If you just ask the right questions, your probabilities of success is high. So how do you go from that to OnlyFans? I'll be lost, bro.
Bum. B-U-M, bum. You're a bum. Like, seriously. And like I said, it's just very prevalent. I keep seeing it over and over and over, where I see, you know, a new girl who just turned 18 promoting her fucking spicy link in an Instagram Reels comment section. And I open it up and I look at her Instagram page, married parents, nice house, clearly, you know, affluent
just
area.
Throwing it away.
Like, you know, good high school. I look at the high school and, you know, quick Google search, and all the sports were D1, ton of funding. Looks like it was redone as soon as 5 years ago.
Wow.
And you have all of these resources. You live in an area.
Straight opportunity, and you went to OF. And then I'm going to keep saying this. Y'all, dudes, the men that are paying for this, especially when they just turned 18, y'all need help. Y'all need help. Y'all have no room to talk about, feminist this, women are like this. Bro, you are contributing to the problem. You are the problem. Word. Because a lot of the things, and I say this in a couple of my videos, a lot of the things that we don't like about life and shit like that can be simply, like, obscured or gotten rid of if you do not participate in them. OnlyFans only operates because there are clients, which are the men. And then y'all subscribing to people who just turned 18. Y'all weird.
In an era and an area where people would die to be you. They would literally kill their entire families if it meant that they didn't have to walk miles every day on bare feet to fucking retrieve water and then go mine for materials to build iPhones, and, you know, half of their family is dead or missing because there's no vaccines. They would die to be you, to have chances like you do. And you squander it. You throw it all away because you're a fucking loser. You're a bum, and you just want, oh no, I'm just gonna post my ass instead. Okay, like, I have no respect for you. Like I said, I'm going to reiterate it a third time, just in case anybody is like starting to get offended. I'm specifically talking about people that were, if we're being real, born into privilege, born into opportunity, and they still choose to do this. It is absolutely despicable to me. It's disgusting. It's like, it's just the most pathetic, like, whatever. You guys get it. Okay. On to the next point. If you have, I'm talking about, the same demographic of women I just spoke about, where you're born into privilege. If you have a phone, you have some savings, okay? Let's say you have $1,000 or $2,000 in savings, so enough to cover rent for the next month, and you're thinking, well, I don't have a job and I don't know what to do, and nobody's hiring and I haven't tried. It's like, I hate to be this person. I'm going to sound like an old person, but have you really tried? If you
No, they didn't. Now!
Roof over your head, and you have enough money to pay rent for the next month, and you choose to do OnlyFans, go get a fucking job. Go do something. Especially if you live in an urban area. There's so many opportunities for money. I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. I'm tired of the excuses. There's absolutely no reason that you, as a privileged person in a first world country with money in your bank account and an iPhone, cannot go get a fucking job. You know what? Every job isn't going to be the job of your dreams. Every job isn't going to pay you a lot of money. Thanks. I had lots of jobs in college that hardly paid me shit, but you know what? I still worked because I wanted my own money to go out to the bars with, and I did. Do you think I ever called my parents and asked them for money? My God, I would never do that. I think if I did that, they would probably call the police and report me missing because they're like, that can't be her. That can't be her. We need a psyche valve. It could be me. Okay. Yeah. So.
I remember I got scammed because I was being naive, right? I went to this Chase Bank, right? I just had gotten my apartment in Jersey, and there was a dude that came up to me while I was in the bank and was like, yo, man, it's my daughter's birthday today. I need you to cash this check in your account, and I'll give you the money in cash. And something told me not to help this man, right? Never got hit with nothing like this before. I said, I bet. I said, you know what? I'm feeling good today. I just got my apartment. Like, I just signed the lease. I'm feeling good today. Went in there, put the check in my joint. It was like $3,000, right? Took it out, you know what I'm saying? Gave him the money and this, that, and the third. I turn around, right, to like make sure my account is good, you know what I'm saying? Put my money in. Bro is gone. And then I kind of just made this face right here. I was just like, I couldn't even get mad because I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a bot for that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But it's like, even in that moment, I wasn't like, damn, I'm gonna go sell work or do some weird stuff that's gonna jeopardize, just the outlook of my family or even put myself in danger. I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I gotta figure out something. And at the time, I was like, yeah, I gotta clock in some more hours and stuff. I just got a new apartment, and I had like probably like 3,000, but he bounced the check twice. So he took 3,000 once, another 3,000. So I was on overdraft deluxe, and we still made it out. There's nothing that you could do to me for me to get to that point where I'm like, I'm gonna sell my PP online. Word to bro.
Don't. Okay, I don't want to hear that either. Like, oh, I just couldn't find any other job to hire me. You're able-bodied, you're of able mind. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, and I think you're lazy, and I think you're lying to me, and I think you're lying to yourself, which is even worse. And you just, are coping with the fact that like you're a bum and you didn't want to go get a job like a normal fucking person. It's like,
This does not apply to those who are actively trying very hard with the degree and applying every day. Still don't do OnlyFans, you know what I'm saying? But if you are, I could understand it. If you are like back against the wall and shit, I could be like, okay, I can see why you felt like it was the only choice. But even then, just for me, I couldn't do it. I'm figure something out. You know what I mean? But she's not talking about the people that are actively trying every day to try and make something shake for themselves.
Again, I'm seeing this trend of middle, upper class women in America who have endless opportunities, who are just, oh, well, I just had to do this as soon as I turned 18. And no, you didn't.
You didn't have to.
You absolutely didn't. You could have made something of yourself. This is what really frustrates me.
It's easy, that's why.
You might be thinking,
It's easy.
China, I thought you were a feminist. Why are you sitting here for almost 30 minutes right now just insulting women? Because I need people to know this. It's so important.
There's nothing feminist about OnlyFans and exploiting your body. I think they kind of lost the plot with feminism because from what I understand, it was about getting voting rights and doing things that, women wanted to empower themselves. I don't think this is an empowerment act to reveal yourself to the globe for a fee of $5 a month, $20 a month. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing empowering about that. If dudes would simply just be like, wow, naked shorty, let me turn this way. That's how fast the power will be stripped from you. There's nothing empowering about that. You feel what I'm saying? Some of y'all gonna hate me for saying it, but it's a fact.
And it's not talked about enough on the internet because everybody's just like so afraid to speak their mind because everyone's such a mediator, everyone's such a fucking, oh, well, that's okay. You can do that. That's okay. You can do that. No, it's not. You know what? It's not okay. It's not okay. And it's not a career and you shouldn't be proud of it. And I'm not an anti-feminist for saying that.
Facts.
It's absolutely true.
Facts.
The biggest lie that the internet has sold in the past few years is that OnlyFans is actually like empowering and it's feminist and it's like actually really cool.
Thank you.
Your job is like filming yourself doing like these, depraved, like disgusting things for a bunch of like men online. And it's really funny that that's like, oh my God, I would never embarrass my family like that.
I'm so glad she said that because when a man says that, it is automatically attacked. Automatically, because as a man, we're not allowed to speak on these things for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad she's saying that. You know what I mean? But like I said, there's nothing empowering about these acts. And then the way the power gets stripped from you so fast, all a man has to do is unsubscribe or not pay attention to those acts. Makes you want to think like, damn, is this really empowering? If it can get devalued so fast. It's literally like you're getting money from people that don't value their own lives most of the time, or they just kind of tapped out. They don't want to try anymore. That demographic of people you're selling to should tell you at the least it's not you know what I'm saying, empowering. That's like a one of the drug dealers coming out here and saying, yeah, what I do is empowering because I'm making all this money. Your demographic 9 times out of 10 is people that are trying to wean off the you know what I'm saying, it's probably folks who are homeless, or people who ain't ish, or very rare it's folks, you know what I'm saying, who are very straightforward. If you do the Mary J, you know what I'm saying, I'm not speaking on that. I'm talking about the moonshine, the crack, all that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, that demographic, you know what I'm saying, it's not the prettiest thing in the world. You know what I mean? But yeah.
I can't imagine doing that to my family. Okay? I don't care what I could be making $1 billion a year and I would never do that to my family. I don't care. That's just who I am. And I'm aware that a lot of the shit that's going on with like AI and stuff has made me aware that many people just don't have a moral compass at all.
Facts.
And that sucks for them. But for those of you that are still consciously here in your head and you're listening to me right now and you can recognize the fact that you're alive and you're a woman, please heed my words and do not do this. It is never worth it. I don't care how much money these people make because I know you've seen the stories about like, who was it? I think it was, I don't know if it was Piper Raquel or another one of them. There are too many for me to keep track of. Also, I really avoid looking at these people because it depresses me, okay? But it was one of them where it's like, oh, I made $1 million on my 18th birthday. It's like, that's so cool. What are you going to tell people when they ask you how you made $1 million? Are you going to say, oh, I just like posted some nude pictures and like this whole audience of men was waiting for me to turn 18. So like, yeah.
And I know we're not supposed to care about we're not supposed to care about what other people think about us, but how you earn your living should matter to you. You understand what I'm saying? Like you should feel like some sort of like, I'm happy with the career that I chose. Like there should be some pride that comes with that. Like, yeah, when someone asks you, what do you do for a living, you should be able to answer honestly and have some sort of pride. Even if you don't like your job, at least people could be like, okay, I see you out here working, you doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, say if you work at a warehouse and stuff like that. Yeah, I work at a warehouse. You know what I'm saying? You slaying, you going crazy. But like with this, nah, no.
I really got them. I really swindled them. Like, oh, I hate that too, how they try to spin it and they try to make it this whole like girl boss thing. Like, no, but it's like we're so empowered and we're like boss bitches and we're like boss babes because like we're making men like pay for to see us. It's like just pathetic. It's just fucking pathetic. It's like you're willingly prostituting yourself online and you're coping with it by spinning it as like, no, but like they're the weird ones and it's like, well, sure, but that's
both are equally weird. I hate to say it, both are equally weird. You preying on men that can't get it. And 9 times out of 10, it's not their fault, right? No, actually, I take that back. Sometimes it is their fault. Sometimes, they just, you know what I mean? Some dudes really be out here trying and some shit, they just can't get none. So they like, damn, I gotta go to the OF. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm not trying to sympathize with them dudes, but I can understand why they would do it. Not saying it's right. Let me just preface it by saying that. But shorties that are selling the content, and the dudes that's putting their card down, you taking your card out, putting your digits in, your zip code, your billing address, all of that to one shorty. Sometimes it be 20 to 35 a month. And then when you talk to the girl one-on-one, 9 times out of 10, you're talking to a dude, her OnlyFans manager. You're not talking to her. Word. And then the OF manager, sometimes they be younger than 18. That's a whole nother conversation. Right? But, hey, equally weird.
No brainer. Why are you contributing to it? Like, it's just so embarrassing. I can't even listen to anybody anymore who tries to have that really weird narrative of like, no, like it's actually empowering and it's actually feminist. And so actually advocating for the pimping out of young girls literally starting on their 18th birthday and the exploitation of teenagers starting on their 18th birthday, that is not feminist. That is not feminist. You are a predator and you are a groomer, okay, for suggesting that. But Helena, I'm a woman. I can't be a predator. Oh, no. No.
Yo, there's a lot of women that think like that. I'm like, yeah. Sure, she hitting, yo. She spitting.
Oh. No, that's not true. Anybody can be a predator regardless of gender. In fact, I was literally featured in a Vanity Fair article last month for talking about the Epstein files, specifically Ghislaine Maxwell, because there are a ton of women like her out there, and people just act like, well, no, it's just I'm just trying to put the girls on. I'm trying to put the girls on. What are you trying to put the girls on to? Are you trying to put the girls on to, drugs and drug addiction and getting physically abused by their managers and their partners and just exploitation for the rest of their lives? Right. Is that like so chic? You're like putting the girls on to becoming professional.
That's so empowering. Like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Victims, because that's the only thing they can be once they blow up and make it big. Oh, if you think that the story I told earlier about somebody who has 20 subscribers and 2 of them get really offended that she left and they, harass her and bombard her for the rest of her life. If you think that's bad, imagine what these poor girls will have to deal with that brag about, I made $1 million on my 18th birthday. They'll never be free. They will never be free.
They're done.
And you can say, well, Helena, what if
How do you go from making $1 million on your birthday in one day? In one day, I launched my OF on one day. You get $1 million. Oh my, what that does to your brain? Yo, Some people ask, how do you get $1 million, hit the lottery and go broke? They ain't never seen money before, gang. And sometimes when you've never seen that before, you've never been exposed to that, and then you don't have the knowledge of what to do with it, you get excited. You know what I'm saying? And you start, boom, boom, boom. Oh, I could just use 100,000 here, a little 300,000 here. Boom, tax season come around. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need like a third of that back. You spent 400,000, a third of that. What's that? 300, right? Whatever the math is, it's a lot. Right? You're like, damn, shit. Fuck. Huh? And And then now, like, you need cash flow to keep coming in. You only got the money that you won. How you gonna keep it coming? You know what I'm saying? Like, it runs out eventually. You know what I mean? But, like, just think about it. Yo, one day you make $1 million, and then you telling that same person to go get a regular job? Hey, Jesus.
Online 20 years from now, and they have a husband and kids, and they're fine, and they have a normal life, and they used all that money from selling pictures of their ass to start a business. Then what? Then they've pulled ahead of you.
In what way?
Their entire life. Anywhere they go in public, even if they move to a town of 3,000 people in Montana, they will run into somebody that has seen all of them. That is terrifying. Their children will be relentlessly bullied in school no matter where they go, even if they homeschool them. The second any of their family members get on the internet, they're going to receive a ton of messages, pictures of you know what, okay? Like, they will never be free, even if it appears that way from the surface. Mm-hmm. And if you thought that this video was really hateful and really horrible, then I apologize that you have been conditioned by this like horrible fucking society and this very porn sick society into thinking that OnlyFans is a career choice and it's empowering and it's okay to let women do that. It's okay to normalize it.
It's not.
No, we need to normalize intelligence and common sense. And you guys know what I say, common sense isn't common, never has been. Maybe it will be in the future. I like to be optimistic. But if you're feeling like really, really fucking heated by this video, I encourage you to go look up testimonials and stories, like I mentioned earlier, of women who have been through the ringer on this and it has ruined their life. I'm not trying to shame people. I'm not trying to bully people.
It's just the facts. But I ain't gonna lie, shout out Halina for this video. Hit the subscribe on that, you know what I mean? She spat. But I'm gonna keep saying this. I know a lot of the dudes is gonna be like, damn, you focused a lot on the men on this one. But because it's like, that is the source of the issue. You know what I'm saying? We need to do better when it comes to like, just provide, like understanding why certain things are the way that they are. If there was no men supplying this, we wouldn't have this this wouldn't even be a conversation, right? We could come at the women all day, be like, oh yeah, they should be on here. But it's like the reason why they on here is because we're enabling them by taking out our wallet and be like, here you go, $20 a month. And then all you need, if you charging $20 a month, right? If they want to make your salary, say if you make $60,000 a year, let's do the math, right? Say if you make $60,000 a year, right? Let's do the math, right? We're gonna do 60,000 divided by 20. All they need is 3,000 people, right? Now, if it's more expensive, right? Let's say 60,000 divided by 30, 2,000 a month, right? But if you want to go less, let's do on a monthly basis, right? Let's do, if you make 60,000 a year, you probably make it like 45, 50, 5 bands, right? Let's do 5,000 divided by 20. All you need is 250 people. While that's not easy to obtain, it's not a lot either. It's not. And she could make 5 racks a month. So you got 250 dudes that's taking out their wallet and boom. See what I'm saying? Like, people could live good off 5 bands a month. Not super good, but you know what I'm saying? Good. I don't gotta go anywhere. I don't gotta pay for a car. You know what I'm saying? I probably pay if I live in a city. You know what I'm saying, where rent is a band, like for a studio or 1 bedroom. You know what I'm saying? $5,000 a month. I could survive well off that. I could do everything I need with that. All I gotta do is pay for it. I could even get a car with that, low key. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're enabling this behavior, but it's like the same dudes that be like, yeah, man, they got the most to say, is the ones that's buying the OnlyFans. I'm just lost. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to watch the original video with Alina. And yeah, I'm gonna holla at y'all. Word of bro.